Since the war in Ukraine began, governments around the world have scrambled to secure munitions and increase production. The new conflict between Israel and Hamas, with the United States pledging to send munitions to Israel, will worsen the problem. In this new column, Nadia Shadlow of Hudson Institute argues that the United States must change its manufacturing mindset to meet needs of its allies and partners. No one knows how the war in Israel will end, but what we do know is that the Israelis will need a steady supply of ammunition to expel terrorists from their country and remove Hamas from power. In the 1973 Yom Kippur War, Israel consumed munitions on an industrial scale, and former Israeli ambassador to the United States Michael Oren has stated that today's conflict will depend on similar supplies. Such a move is not unique to Israel. Increased production today would strengthen deterrence for the United States at a time when Washington appears extremely weak. Our enemies, handing power to the Taliban in Afghanistan, paying ransoms Iran, and temporarizing its support for Ukraine. Weakness invites aggression, and our enemies do not and will not hesitate to take advantage of our shortcomings to deter war in Asia and restore deterrence. The United States must make a decisive transition from peacetime to wartime thinking. Acting now, provide Israel with the munitions it needs and to continue supplying them. Ukraine is an investment in U.S. security. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin recently promised Israel additional equipment and ammunition. However, this will not be possible for a long time unless the Department of Defense, supported by the White House and Congress, takes predetermined steps. The wartime mentality will require many changes. First, Congress should recognize the need for multi-year production contracts to provide necessary demand signals to industry. That's entirely up Congress. Defense Department leaders have asked for authority negotiate multi-year procurement contracts. Allow production lines stay open. This has dead benefit of saving money and reducing costs. Second, DoD leaders have the power to streamline the contracting process. Congress allowed Department of Defense to waive some burdensome and inefficient contracting requirements. But the DoD used these new approaches only sparingly and still interprets requirements strictly. Such hesitation is considered wrong. The Secretary of Defense can direct his subordinates to comply with the provisions of last year's National Defense Authorization Act and expedite contract deadlines. Third, we must make full use of existing production lines. According to ATACMS, as a senior staff member at SASC, we can build almost 300 more this year. The line produces 500 guns per year, with around 200 guns currently on order for the FY24 FMS. Congress could expand these and other weapons beyond current military requirements so the Department of Defense can meet future needs as well as continue its